Hey guys, it's Crystal here with ABrokePlantEater.com, and today is Friday, and as usual, Friday means that it's Frugal Friday. Today, we will be talking about maximizing ingredients, using every last bit of everything you have to purchase for whatever recipe you are trying to execute. So on our last video, we talked about how a lot of new vegans and a lot of new vegetarians and plant-based persons fall into the horrible trap of trying to automatically start substituting things that they used to eat with pre-made, pre-packaged food that is quite costly. And we happen to mention that we make chickpea cutlets. To maximize our main ingredient of chickpea cutlets, which are chickpeas, we do not just drain and rinse these. What we do is we take all of the juice from this can, which is also known as aquafaba and not juice, and we separate it from our beans. So we don't just throw it down the drain. We keep that juice and store it in your fridge for 3 to 5 days, and it's actually a really great substitute for anything that you would use like egg whites for. And so one of the things that we do with ours is we put it in the fridge, we let it sit for just a couple days, and then you can use it in a chocolate mousse. It's absolutely delicious. It has 3 ingredients. All it is dark chocolate, aquafaba, and salt. That is it. Legit, easy, cheap, and delicious. Another way to maximize ingredients is when you're purchasing things that you might not eat all of. So when you have to buy an entire bag of celery or an entire bag of carrots or an entire bag of potatoes, onions, we really don't use all of the onions that we buy, but things like that where your recipe only calls for 2 or 3 and you might not get over to them for another week or so, we do something really, really easy and simple, and this might sound a little loud because I'm right next to the camera, so forgive me. We have a bag in our freezer that we keep everything stored in, like all of our scraps and all of the items that were about to go bad. So in ours, we have some probably celery, there's broccoli stalks, carrots, more celery, and not too many broccoli stalks because they're kind of overpowering with the use that we do with them. So we will take them, we'll throw them in our pressure cooker with lots of water. We get to control the amount of salt that we have. We'll throw in an onion and some seasoning, and we get to make our own homemade vegetable broth where we have complete control over exactly what it's going to taste like and exactly how much salt is in it. So that is another way that you can maximize ingredients when you have to purchase an entire bag of celery for 2 stalks in your friggin' recipe, or when you have to buy an entire bag of carrots because you need 1 shredded. One of our last tips for maximizing ingredients doesn't only have to do with maximizing purchased ingredients. It has to do with maximizing ingredients that you've already cooked and you just have a plethora of, because what happens is things like rice and things like pasta multiply. You don't realize how much you're making, or you think somebody's going to eat more than they do. Or what happens in our house is whatever we make as our protein, so whether it's a chickpea patty or some teriyaki tempeh, all of those things go very quickly in comparison to the brown rice that we make. This was actually left over from last night's dinner, and what I will do with this is tomorrow morning I will make a warm brown rice type of porridge. I'm gonna throw in some sliced apples, a couple scoops of peanut butter, a little bit of agave to bring up the sweetness, because the peanut butter that I purchase, the only ingredient is peanuts, so there's no sweetness to it. And I buy green apples, so I kind of want to downplay the bitterness from the apples. So I will throw that all in there with some nuts or raisins or cranberries, and I will have a porridge the next day. And that porridge only takes about a cup of rice for 1 serving, and I have about probably a cup and a half to 2 cups here, so I'll be able to make 2 servings easy. And then I can even put the rest of that rice porridge that I will make tomorrow morning back in my fridge, and I'll have it Sunday morning for breakfast. I'm talking about maximizing ingredients and maximizing the ingredients that you've already had to use. Do not throw things away anymore, because we are all on a budget. I use everything that I possibly can before I get rid of something, and so should you, because you are now, this dog ruins all of my shots. Anyway, like I was saying, you should too, because you've been watching Frugal Fridays and you're gonna learn a crap ton more tips on how you can be just a little bit more frugal, and you won't have to worry about spending money on your health. You won't have to worry about spending money on healthy ingredients, and you will see that it is not as expensive and that hype will soon diminish. Thanks for watching.